Salutations to all the nations. I'm the Tully Monster. Wait, negative. Still haven't got used to that one. I'm the Holy Gamer, and welcome back to the Holy Land. As you can see, I've kind of done a little bit, although you can't see a whole bunch because you just can't see a whole bunch of it because the thing doesn't zoom out far enough. Little bedroom action here. I don't know why I have a cartography table up here, but I got one. A couple emeralds. I don't know why I got that. Almost guessing I've been to the village. It's been a little while since I played in here. A little bit of storage. Dirt and gravel. Miscellaneous stuff and things. Stone and blocks and pretty much wood. We got food. And we got more, high-end stuff, which we have a little bit of nothing of. What do we got for food in there? Basically, we got all the stuff for all the planting. We got some melons. We got some pumpkins. We got a few seeds. And, I wonder if... Basically, let's go ahead and fire up on... we got creepers running around. Better be careful. I guess we could do a little house tour, since how I kind of left this thing half finished. Step back just a little bit. This is our little starter hut. We'll start off. Like I said, I left these walls blank so we can kind of expand out the sides a little bit. Maybe go down into the ground. I'm not really sure what we're going to do with it yet. I just figured I'd leave some walls blank so I didn't put things on them and have to chop them out later. Other than that, what I'm hoping to do today is come down here and work on getting some farming started up, because one of the best trades are the villagers. You can see we got some cows in there trapped for when we start our cow farm. We got a sheeps, and I think I got a hole over here, have some chickens in it. That way we got some of those trapped. That way a little bit of that's prepared, so I don't have to go hunting for them whenever it's time to do that. I've just been kind of propagating a little bit of sugar cane, and I have some plots marked off here. Basically, center torches are going to be the bits that I put the water in, all that good stuff. But the first thing I want to do is I want to run over here to this village. And since we're going to be hooking up the crops, we need to make sure we have the stuff for the crops. Obviously, I have melons, and I have pumpkins, and I have a few wheat seeds. But I am hoping that there's going to be some... What are we missing? We're missing potatoes, beetroots, and carrots. And that'd be pretty much all the growing crops that we would need. And we have the sugar cane. So let's go ahead, bebop over here, and see what these guys have going for them. Alright, we got beetroot. We have... I don't see anything grown. What do we got here? We got carrots. We got beetroot. Go ahead and pop those. I guess we need new ones for the seeds, don't we? Did we get beetroot seeds? We got 4 beetroot seeds. Maybe I don't want to ravage all their crops, but I will if I have to. Anything down here? No. Just got a couple pigs in a pen down there. We got ourselves a little stairway down there so they can get to their crops. We got a fisherman's hut. What are you? You are a shepherd, which means there's a loom around here somewhere. Don't even want that. Yeah, bed in there for them guys. What do we have in here? We got a little place for the bed. A couple worth. What's that guy getting all shiny on? That's weird. This looks like the center of town. I believe this is the loomery. Yep, that's where the loom comes from. I put those 2 pink beds in there, FYI. I don't think they make pink beds. Hoping they would breed on their own. Looks like we got ourselves a fisherman here, looking at his stuff. Those are not the trades that I'm looking for. Like I say, The food stuff seems to be the best. Ouch. Let's jump over here. What do we have? We have grown crops over here. We got fully grown beetroots. We'll go ahead and pull those babies up. I might just try to pull up everything out here because I don't want them crossing that. Got ourselves a drown hanging out down there under the tree, shading himself. We have potatoes. That's just what we needed. And might as well grab these wheat seeds. Let's go ahead. Like I said, I don't want these guys coming over here, so I'm going to steal this composter. We're not going to worry about this farm over here because I don't want them over here to begin with. I don't want them to have a reason to come over here. So let's go ahead and pull that. There's no bed here, is there? There is a bed. Let's pop that bed in somewhere a little bit better. Let's go see if we can't whack this guy's face. My sword's almost dead. Don't break on me, trusty sword. Boy, he wasn't attacking nothing. Oh, I don't have a sword anymore. So, alrighty, we got 2 villagers. Which means we should be able to come and feed them. They should breed. Because they'll have access to their things. I might run around and remove some of their workstations, possibly that way they will spawn in the workstations that I like. But we did get what we were coming for. Got ourselves some carrots. Did we get a lot? How many carrots did we get? We got 1 carrot. We're gonna have to steal some more carrots. And we got a couple that are grown up here. We'll leave them a couple carrots to work with. We need a little stock here. I think we got plenty of beetroot seeds. Beetroots, I don't really do anything with them as far as food, but they do make good trades. And the way the villager mechanics work, from what I understand, you want to trade with multiple villagers, not just get yourself 1 or 2 guys that you really like, because if you trade with just 1 villager, he basically jack his prices on you because you know, he's got the market cornered. So you want to trade with lots of them. So best ones that I've ever found was basically the things you can grow: sugarcane for paper, for cartographers and librarians, and pretty much all the different foods seem to be the best running deals. So I'm gonna come over here and kind of show you what I'm thinking as far as my layout, given my little pads here that I got all prepped up here. Basically, I'm just going to pop one of those babies out. I don't need clay in the middle of my deal. But what I want to do is, right here at the corners, I want to dig between to each one of these torches like this. Like I said, I set this all up in advance, so that way I don't have to sit there and count and all that good stuff. But which saves you guys a lot of pain and saves me a lot of embarrassment. My first video, trying to watch me play stairs, that had to have been painful for people. Oh man, good thing I got an extra one of those. At least I planned somewhat ahead. I don't have a sword, hopefully nothing attacks me. I have to punch it in the face to death, but yeah, it'll work for now. Have myself a little bit of a head cold thing going on here. Let's see, we got this one here. Where's my line? There's my line. This one here is going to be an intersecting one because this thing isn't exactly a straight peninsula. I like to kind of work with the flow if I can. I like to separate my plots. Basically, these are 9x9 plots with a single water source in the middle. It's the most efficient version. Unfortunately, it's not the best as far as the 64 counts. When I make a better farm, more of an automatic farm, you know how everybody does it. You park the thing in here. You know what? I think I get one more, but I think I only needed 4. I only need four crop plots basically for the 4 different types of foods I want to grow here. And I'm glad I grabbed that extra bed because now I can throw a bed down here. because I forgot to plant it up there. And I can sleep, and I don't have to run back to the house. I always kind of like that. Let's go ahead and make us a crafting table and get us everything we need kind of set up here. Do I have what it takes for a chest? No, I only have 3 blocks. Let's get a few more blocks here. A lot of people like the what do you call those things? The barrels, but having villagers around, I don't want all my villagers being fishermen. So I won't mess with that too much. What did I do? Not make enough wood for another chest? Come on. How come I'm not seeing the chest? Let's make lots more. There it is. Now I can make 3 more. Oh, crap. I have 3 more. Oops, my bad. We might as well double tall it. Oh, sorry about that. Blow everybody's eardrums out with that one. Alright, let's go ahead and get our trusty bucket out here. And like I said, I just kind of give you a rundown on the way I run my business here. I like to just go ahead and fill these things in, because whenever it comes time to do the dirty, come on, fill in the middle. And jump the gun a little bit on snatching the water block there. Let's see, from there. Basically, if you go every other one, you just go back, and you can fill this thing forever. Just follow your line around, and it helps a lot. Let's see, let's grab us some dirt. I guess we had some dirt. What was in that? Oh, that's where my sword was. Plop that baby down in there. Basically, let me go ahead and just run one of these up for you. I'm going to do one of those. We're going ahead and just pop a half slab in the top. That is, of course, a waterlogged block, so the water source is still there. I will also waterlog all the planks around the edges, so I have a nice little walkway path. I don't really like bumps in my crops. I don't like to jump up. I don't like to jump down. And as long as it's smooth, then the critters and stuff don't have a reason to jump up and down. So they won't be breaking my crops that way and all that good stuff. I will have to make a couple hoes. I'll hoe all this out, but we'll go ahead and speed this up a little bit, and we'll come back when this is all finished up. Alright, here we go. Alright. Recently, I've been watching the videos where people try to debunk or do away with free will and objective morality. One guy, the Cosmic Skeptic, claims that he has figured out and totally solidified that objective morality can't exist even if God is its author. So basically, just everything's subjective to him. There is no objective right and wrong. There's only what we perceive to be right and wrong. And there's not actually an objective value by which you can measure how wrong an act is or anything of that sort. So basically, what he comes down to, how he boils it down, is he boils it down with his definition. And he goes through a big old to-do about, what the definition is and all this good stuff. And basically his definition is morality is the intuition that you ought to do good and you ought not to do bad. So, and then he separates that even farther. But there's the problem right there. It took me probably an hour to figure that out. And I was searching, and in a way I'm kind of praying, hey God, where's the problem here? The reason why I had to pray to God, where's the problem here, is because I just got done watching a Robert Morris video where he's talking, where God's got the answers, and where Robert Morris beat his head against the wall for hours, couldn't figure it out. You just feel God saying, hey, why don't you ask me for the answer? He's like, because I'm trying to figure this out on my own. So, I'm like unconsciously / a little bit consciously saying, God, what's up here? I know what he's saying ain't true. Why am I having a hard time here? Why does it seem like he's got something going on here? It's because he defined the term in a subjective way. So as he built his straw man, he'd be able to light it on fire, even though he coded it in. He coded his Achilles style straw man in steel and said, "Look, I got this steel visage that can't be burned down. That everybody says can't be burned down." But he left himself a little Achilles heel there to by which to burn it down. And that Achilles heel is the fact of the ought. The thing is, his definition is subjective. So how can you make an objective statement of a subjective definition? The thing you ought to do. See, by coupling the good with ought, you make a subjective deal out of it. I believe he rightfully kind of does the ought game. Why ought you do good? Well, the reason why he asked the question in the end, why ought you do good? Because God says so. And really kind of like puts a guy on a spot. And I'm like, why ought you do good? Well, you ought to do good because good is the correct thing to do. Nobody sets out to do what is incorrect. Now, a lot of the times we do things that we believe to be correct, and we do things that we know not to be correct, but we know that they're wrong when we do them. But a lot of the times we're mistaken in we believe that what we are doing, though incorrect, we believe it to be correct because we lack the information needed to do it. And, all kinds of stuff to go, all kinds of rabbit holes to go down there, but let's just stick to the point. Basically, his definition of morality is set up so that he can tear it down. I will try to link his video in here so you can see just exactly how persuasive his straw man is and all that good stuff. Because I'd hate to out him and and claim him to be wrong without giving you his interpretation. So I'll give it to you directly, but just look at the definition that he gives and say, what if the definition were to say that objective moral standards are a standard that is good and a standard that is not good? Because when you look at the Bible, the objective standard is moral perfection, not a gradient, not what's good and what's bad. It is what is ultimately, objectively, absolutely the correct answer for a moral question. That is God's standard of morality. It's what is the absolute given given all the parameters. Now that's another thing that makes it really difficult for anyone to really grasp absolute objective morality, or to in any way, shape, or form make it for themselves, because we lack omniscience. Objective moral values can only possibly come about if God has omniscience. That is a full knowledge of every possible factor in which to judge from. Because unless you have that, you can't make the judgment. At least not objectively. It will always be subjective. That's probably where he gets hung up. The fact that he can't possibly have all that knowledge, and not being able to reach such a thing, he doesn't... I don't know if he doesn't want to see that God can have all that knowledge to make absolute correct judgments. But
What if the objective standard is a standard that varies depending on circumstances? Because in the book of Exodus, no, not Exodus. Is it Exodus? No, Genesis. In Genesis, when Abraham is talking to God and he says, "Well, you're going to judge you're going to judge Sodom and Gomorrah. Will not the judge of all the world do what's right?" He says, "You know what? I'm going to go down there and judge them people." And he says, "Well, what if there's far be it from you, God, to sweep away the righteous with the unrighteous." He says, "What if there's 50? Would you spare the town for 50?" He says, "Yeah." And of course, he whittles it down to 10, 5. He says, "You know what? If I find anybody that's righteous in there, I won't sweep away the town." Well, guess what? Guess what? He didn't find any righteous people. Not even Lot, who was saved, wasn't righteous. I mean, he tried to give up his daughter to the friggin' mob of people. I mean, that's anything but a righteous decision, at least in my subjective opinion. And I say my subjective opinion is such because I don't know absolutely. And I can't possibly know absolutely, so I cannot possibly have an objective opinion. And that's what I think that's where this guy falls short, is because he knows that he can't have an objective opinion. He can't possibly know absolutely that it is objective. So he assumes, I think falsely, that it can't be objective. But the thing is, I believe omniscience is the key there. Omniscience and knowledge of every possibility makes the objective moral judgment, or the objective judgment of anything, possible. But that's the only thing that makes it possible, and only God that can judge such things, because he's the only one with that omniscient viewpoint and is able to factor in every possible factor. Factor in every possible factor. I don't know. Is that circular? I don't know. But anyhow, that's my take on the cosmic skeptics little thing. So let's get back to what we were doing and just relax and enjoy ourselves some little bit of Minecrafting. Until next time.
Alrighty then. Well, that would be the farming area complete until things grow up a little bit. Looks like we got ourselves a creeper coming after us and all that good stuff. But anyhow, that's just a quick little starting to the farming action. I'm thinking perhaps as lowbrow. I guess it's not totally starting to the farming action. Okay, dude, just pickaxe. Okay, there you go. Oh no, that's dangerous. That's dangerous right there. We're gonna have to deal with this noise. Oh man, now I'm in trouble. Alright, come on. Stay on land. Keep them in the water. Ah, stupid pickaxe. Why don't I have a sword? Yeah, there you go. Blow them up. Got an nautilus shell. There we go. Now we're talking turkey. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here. Ah, I hate drowns. Anyhow, now, what was I just trying to say? Before I was so rudely interrupted? Oh, that's right. First of all, let's go make ourselves a sword. Nice iron sword. Let's go ahead and just throw that in the water because that's pretty much garbage. Possibly next episode I'll gather some material between things. We'll work on getting our animals penned up properly for breeding and harvesting and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and grab us probably another pickaxe. Is this a iron pickaxe? Better save that for good stuff. We only have 3 iron left. Efficiency 2. Iron shovel. That's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and make us one more iron pickaxe. Put our one piece of steel back in there. Grab those just for good measure. We have plenty of stuff for that. Get those put away. Grab us some cobblestone because I prefer cobblestone over dirt while doing a little bit of caving. But I'm thinking we need to boogie down and check out what we got going on in this cave. See if there's not a little bit of iron to be had, maybe something quick and easy. Give you guys kind of the rundown on how I like to do my caving, because that just, I don't know, for some reason everybody has their own idea. I pulled the coal from right here already. I've had a couple different ideas on the way I work my caves. And one of the things you see everybody do is they say, you know, place torches on the right-hand side. That way you know if they're on the left-hand side, that's the way out. I usually place all my torches in the center. So if you pop them up on the right-hand side, that's all well and good. But when you come to weird intersections, where one way's in, and the other way's in, and the other way's in, and all that good stuff, one thing I like to do to really differentiate is drop one of those guys on there and put a torch. That's not a torch. Drop a torch on the outgoing side, because that way I know that direction. There's only really one way. If it's a really, if I gotta go uphill, if it's a situation between uphill and downhill, I'll pop one on top. But I don't have to go uphill here. I pretty much gotta go that direction. That's the only one that really goes that way. So at these major turkey foot intersections, I like to do stuff like that. Because every once in a while, you'll be placing torches, and you'll find out that the hole that you're placing torches on the way in is actually a way out. You've just kind of circled around. So that's really confusing sometimes, at least to me. If that's not confusing to you, I mean, hey, everybody does their own thing. Uh-oh, what'd I do? I fell in a hole. I want to get rid of that. Don't like those. That is it looks like it goes down pretty good right there. How come? We got another water source here. I'm gonna get rid of these stinking water sources. I'm not big on water sources. I will dig myself a little stairway down there. Holy smokes, looks like this thing probably goes down to a ravine. We are going to need all this iron because we are running super short on iron. Because as you saw when I started the video, I made myself some iron armor with the iron I had. Do I want to ride the water down, or do I want to stair step her down? That is definitely a ride the water down. That's definitely a ravine. Let's not get ourselves into that mess right now. Ooh, got more iron right here. That's what I'm talking about. All the iron. One of these, one of those. A little bit of that. Not very deep right now. Where did I have going on here? That felt like a skeleton. Where's he at? I never did make that. I never made my sword, so attacking a skeleton is probably not my best idea right now. But, you know, we got ourselves a few bits of iron, which is going to do us really well. Let's just go ahead and exit. Yep, see, here we go. As soon as I saw that block, I knew exactly which way I needed to go. I'm out of here. Go ahead and get out of here for now. I'm going to do a little bit of this caving off camera. What the? See, look at that. Oh, I'm sure this is the way I came in. Or is it? I mean, I got daylight, but see what happens when you get all mixed up? See, here we go. It's places like this that you just kind of stick one of these guys right there on there and say, go this direction up. And that way, it's going to be a lot easier to keep from getting turned around again. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So anyhow, like I said, leave your thoughts and comments as to what you think of the whole objective, subjective reality, or objective, subjective morality, and as to what you think is whether or not that guy's putting himself up a straw man or what's going on. But I think he's defining himself into success with that little bit. I will link put a link in the video to that guy's video, exactly what he's saying and all that stuff, so you can check it out for yourself and decide for yourself as to whether or not he's just basically begging the question, building a straw man and burning it down in order to prove his point, or if he's using the arguments, or if he's actually debunking arguments that have been used, because I think he's totally changing the context, which, in and of itself makes it easy to do away with things. But anyhow, leave likes for Jesus, and we will see you in the next one. Later.